Hey guys, this is Luis Moreno with Simply Health Insurance Agency. It is January the 19th. ACA open enrollment just closed 4 days ago. Game over. Now what are you going to do? Guys, I'm going to tackle that question in a few minutes. Before I do that, make sure you click on the like button. Make sure you hit the little bell icon and subscribe to my channel. I got tons of data going your way. All right, guys, Luis Moreno here again with Simply Health Insurance Agency, and we're going to tackle ACA open enrollment closed January 15th. We are now January the 19th. What am I going to do? Is ACA over with? Am I going to be able to still write ACA, which is Obamacare, under 65 health insurance? Am I still going to be able to write business? And the answer is yes. Okay. So what you need to look for is special enrollments. Okay. These are the exceptions that would allow somebody to get into an ACA plan with or without subsidies throughout the year outside of the normal open enrollment. Now, the rule of thumb is this, guys. Everything that is centered. So this insured has to have a life event. Something has to happen to them. Okay. And this something that happened to them has to have created a loss of coverage. Remember, this is the rule. There's a few exceptions to this rule. Okay. So things have to happen. So I went to two sites. One is healthcare.gov and the other one is Health Sherpa, which is our enrollment tool. And I'm going to go over these SEPs with you. So here you go. All right, here we go, guys. All right, so I'm on healthcare.gov right now. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over some of the special enrollments for 2022. So number one, here's what we've got going on out there. First thing that we got going on is somewhere around March, we're going to have the ability to enroll people year round that meet a certain income number. Okay, the number that's being presented to us right now is if they are at 100% to 150% of the federal poverty level. There is a chart. This chart shows the number of people in the tax household, and it'll show the income numbers anywhere between 100 up to 600%. So if they're in that window, 100 to 150%, they will be able to enroll year round. Okay, so supposedly it's supposed to start in March with April 1 effective dates. Okay, we don't have any confirmation on that. All right, so there's that one. Let's get that one out of the way. But let's kind of talk about life changes that will qualify you for a special enrollment. Okay, now normally on a special enrollment, so that you know, whatever happens, the date of that enrollment, the clock starts ticking. You have 60 days to enroll. Outside of that 60 days, you missed the window. So don't go beyond your 60 days. But let's talk about changes in your household. If within the past 60 days, you could have had you could have a special enrollment if you got married. Okay. So newlyweds, you now have an opportunity to get a plan. Okay. Now, all of these will start the first of the following month. So if we're in January and I got married January the 16th, okay, I could enroll now or all the way up to the end of this month and get a February 1 effective date, okay? I had a baby, I adopted a child, or I placed a child for foster care. This creates a special enrollment. Uh-oh, I got married on the 15th, I got a divorce on the 16th, okay, or legally separated. This creates a special enrollment. Or let's say that my spouse was the primary insured and my spouse died, and so I no longer have coverage. Or maybe my spouse worked for an employer and she passed away. Now I'm losing that group coverage. And so now I have an SEP to get into a marketplace plan. All right, another special enrollment. Changes in residence, okay? If you just move from one apartment to the other within the same complex, it ain't going to work, guys. Sorry. But you're moving to a new home in a new zip or county. Okay. You're moving to the US from a foreign country or US territory. You're a student, or if you're a student, moving to or from the place you attended school, that creates a special enrollment. If you're a seasonal worker, where you're moving to or from the place where you work and live. You're moving from or to a shelter or transitional housing. All right. Now, these moves, there's a note here where moving because of vacation or medical treatment, that's not going to count. Okay. All right. But if you do this, okay, this is going to create a special enrollment for you. All right. Now, one of the things with this special enrollment, okay, it is important that you have coverage. Okay. If you do not lose coverage because of this, you are not going to be able to get into a plan. You have to submit proof or loss of that coverage because you changed residence. Okay. Now I'm looking at here to see if it says this. Specifically doesn't say that here, but let's go to Health Sherpa and let's talk about let's talk about the changes in a residence according to them. It's kind of the same thing that the marketplace has. Very same kind of scenarios here, but you must prove that you had qualifying health coverage during one or more of the days during the 60 days before you move. Guys, you're gonna have to prove that you had credible coverage. If I didn't have coverage now and I move tomorrow to another city and another zip code, all right, that in itself did not create a special enrollment. Me moving from here to there and me having coverage is gonna work, but I have to have coverage, credible coverage. All right, let's continue on here. Now, losing coverage in itself. Okay, so we talked about changes in residence. We talked about changes in your household. Let's talk about loss of insurance. Okay, if something happened, if you're going to lose insurance or you lost it within the past 60 days, or you're going to lose it in the next 60 days, that creates a special enrollment. The one key here, guys, you cannot be losing your insurance because you didn't pay the bill. Okay, all right, that is the key. If you decided that you didn't want to pay for that bill and you lost your insurance, it's not going to work. Let's see if Health Sherpa has that on here. Losing insurance. Okay, here we go. You will not qualify for a special enrollment if you or a family member lost coverage because you did not pay your monthly premium. So sorry, if you didn't pay your bill, that's not going to get you a reason to get in. All right, let's kind of continue with this one. Losing eligibility for Medicaid or CHIP. Okay, if you're in that position, that creates a special enrollment for you. Losing Medicare. Okay, this is very, very unique. Okay, so if you have a senior that is over 65, for some reason doesn't have A or B, if they qualify, they could get subsidies and enroll in the plan. Okay, all right. Losing that A or B, they can't have one or the other. They got to completely lose it all the way around. That will create an enrollment. But if they have A or B, they cannot get a subsidy. So that's a key thing to remember. All right. What if in your household you have a child going to school, whatever it may be, and they turn 26? Well, they're going to get kicked out of your plan. Okay. They're going to have to get their own plan. Well, that creates a special enrollment. You lose job-based coverage through a family member's employer because a family member loses coverage. So if I'm married, my spouse is working, they stop working there, they lose the insurance, we're both going to have a special enrollment. We talked about death, divorce, legal separation. Here's one that I don't see very often. Okay. What if you go work for a company and they don't have a group plan, but they have a HRA, okay, a health reimbursement account. I believe that's what it is. or they have a QSERA, Qualified Small Employer Health Reimbursement Arrangement. So this is an account that the employer has created for his employees where they put in a sum of money. This money is made available to the employees so that they can enroll, pay their premiums, pay their co-pays. If they don't have insurance, they can pay some medical bills from it. But if they have that, that opens up a window for them to have a special election. Here are some other options. If they are a Native Indian, they belong to a federally recognized tribe. And in fact, we had in our training an agent whose wife is a Native American, and they have a card that recognizes them for this. If they're an Alaska Native, also they have year-round, they have a special enrollment. Okay, they just became a citizen. So if you have somebody here who's trying to gain citizenship and they finally get their green card or they become a U.S. citizen, either way, they get an SCP to enroll. They get released from jail, leaving incarceration. That creates an SCP. And then starting or ending service as an AmeriCorps state or national, VISTA, never heard of that one, or NCC member. Okay, so these are just some, in fact, I would say the majority of the special enrollments that count towards the ability for somebody to enroll outside of the regular enrollment. Guys, here are the websites. I went to healthcare.gov and all I did was typed in special enrollment and within a few prompts, I ended up here. Okay, Health Sherpa. They've got a list here of all of their special enrollments that you could use. Okay. Either way, guys, what happens is when you do an enrollment and you select one of these special enrollments, you're probably going to have to show proof. Okay. At the end of the enrollment, you're going to get an eligibility letter. That eligibility letter is going to show what the requirements are. It's usually on page 2. Get to page 2, look at it's a section that's called, what do I need to do next? Make sure you read that section and you need to follow up with any requirements. You may have to provide a letter of credible coverage. You may have to provide release papers. It'll give you income papers. Who knows? It varies, but you're going to have to provide this documentation within the timeline. If you don't, what happens is they lose their subsidies or they get kicked out of the plan. They make them ineligible for this SCP. So make sure you as the agent, or if you're the insured and you're doing this for yourself, make sure that you upload those documents before the deadline. So I hope that helps you out. Guys, I'm Luis Moreno with Simply Health Insurance Agency. Make sure that you click on the like button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit the little bell icon. That way you can get these kind of notices, and share this video with your colleagues, guys. HCA is incredible. It is great coverage. Rates are affordable for the majority of the people. So take advantage of it if you have the possibility to get in. So again, do me a favor and make sure you subscribe. All right, guys, if you like what you saw, here's what I'd like for you to do. I've got some extra videos here for you to watch. And if you would, click here so that you can subscribe to our channel and make sure you hit the little bell icon so you can get updates like these in the future.